Hi, welcome to the She Built It Experience with Melanie. You're here because you want to scale and grow your business, master business strategy, and learn about new tech innovation. Join me and my inspiring guests as we dive into the topic of how to create, build, scale, and operate the business of your dreams. In addition to being an entrepreneur, I'm also a twin mom and optimist who loves empowering you to experience the life that you crave. Magic happens when we focus on the part of ourselves and our business that brings us joy. So grab a coffee or cocktail, get comfy, and let's dive in. Carissa can't remember a time when she wasn't interested in real estate. Growing up, she often found herself reading magazines with homes for sale and scouring the listings. After college, she spent time in banking, where she oversaw branch operations and managed teams of people. Carissa realized she wanted to own her own business and decided to take her management, customer service, and business skills and turn to her lifelong interest in real estate. Today, she is a real estate broker with Beach City Brokers. I am so happy to welcome Carissa Wright. Carissa, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Please share with us more about who you are and about the leaps that you made throughout your career before going into real estate.
Yes, so I have had quite an interesting stream of jobs prior to getting into real estate. I have been working almost every day since I was 16 years old. I started working at a small local family-owned ice cream and candy store to pay for my gas for my car.
Mm-hmm.
And I waitressed my way through college to pay for my college and my living expenses. Then after college graduation, I got into banking. I just fell into it. I was actually pre-med, but long story short, I got into banking and I worked my way into management. I learned a lot in all of my different careers prior to real estate. There was a lot of customer service and sales and operations management. All of these different business experiences really helped give me a strong foundation for what was going to come later on for me.
I remember asking my dad for a car when I was 16 and he said, "Do you have a job?"
Yes.
Which
yes,
I went out and
exactly.
got one shortly after that. And from what I know about you, you have grit and tenacity. That's really what it takes to succeed.
Absolutely. And whatever you do, you have to stick through it, through the good times and the bad times. Any business, that's number one.
So tell us about your business now. What gave you the courage to decide to make the leap into real estate?
I had always been very intrigued by real estate. I loved looking at the housing magazines growing up. I loved going to open houses. I'd always make my mom take me when I saw the signs. When my daughter was 6 months old, my firstborn, like most new mothers do, I had some time to reevaluate what I was doing with my life and what I wanted to do. I really wanted to have my own business where I could create my hours and still be present for the things that I wanted to be present for when she started school and so on. I decided to go for it. I was working at the time in a different industry, but I received my real estate license. And I was very fortunate. I had some really great friends who needed to sell an investment property of theirs. The day after I got my license, they signed my first listing agreement with me. The rest is history.
How has the real estate market been for you during this time? And have your clients been able to see an increase in profit, or have you been able to see an increase in profit?
So COVID has definitely been interesting in real estate. Back in March, the market was doing great. We were moving into the spring and summer months, which is our busiest time. And COVID hit. A lot of deals fell apart. We were all really scared. We didn't know what was going to happen. So I had about 4 escrows cancel. Clients were just terrified. Fast forward 3 or 4 months later, it all started to shift with interest rates staying as low as they have been and everyone kind of adjusting to life in COVID. I started to see a really big increase in business again. And it's continued the rest of the year. We've seen in LA County an increase of 11% since last year in sales. The market is crazy. And really what it comes down to is the fact that interest rates are at historic lows. And on top of that, we've all been stuck inside of our houses for almost a year now. We all are looking around saying, I need a bigger house. I need more space. I need somewhere for my kids to do their schoolwork. I want a yard. I want to be closer to the beach. I want to be closer to family.
It's amazing what it's made us evaluate, right?
It's made us evaluate everything. And on top of that, with people working from home now, it's given a lot of people the flexibility to move somewhere where they weren't able to before. I've had a lot of clients come in from out of state, and I've had clients leave to move out of state. But in many ways, I think it's been a blessing for a lot of people.
How has it been for you as a working mom through this time? I mean, I'm a mom of twins. I'm homeschooling, so I know what that's like. And you mentioned after your firstborn evaluating where you wanted to take your career. And I think every mother goes through that. Before I was working in sports where I was working at a stadium 12 to 15-hour days. And I just had this reality that I couldn't continue to live that way if I wanted to, like you said, be there for those special moments. How has working through this time as a mom been for you?
It's been really hard. I am a single mom. I have two kids who are 3 and 6. My daughter is in first grade. And so she's at a really crucial age, which I know you understand.
Yeah, my twins are in first grade also. Yeah.
Exactly. So she's trying to learn to read and to write and do all of these things that are going to carry her for the rest of her life. I don't have a lot of support at home. I'm a single mom running my own business, taking care of these kids.
Good for you.
Thank you. It was really tough in the beginning, but I feel we're starting to get into our groove. My daughter has her room with her desk set up. She has really great teachers at school. And my son gets his Legos out and he sits and he plays. And I set up shop at the kitchen table. I am fortunate that they do have time with their father as well. And so the days that they're with their father, I maximize my business hours. I come into my office, I close the door, and I put in 12 to 15-hour days to make up for any hours I lost trying to help them with their schooling and other activities at home.
I definitely admire, and I know that the listeners admire you for taking that on too. And I admire any working mom or woman that is homeschooling kids, because I do know, we can all add that to our resumes, at least for a little while now.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. And that's the nice thing is we're all in the same boat right now. Everyone's experiencing it.
You are busy caring for your family and running a business. What management tips can you give us for staying organized?
I am a big believer in time blocking. I have multiple planners and notebooks, and I create lists every single day for my personal life as well as my business. And I time block my time. So I break it down into 4 different categories, and then I allot myself different times throughout the day to work on each category. It's the best way that I can make sure I'm being efficient with the time that I do have.
It's great advice, because how can we really be 100% efficient in anything that we do if we don't separate out the times? When we're with our kids, it's like 100% with our kids, or when we're working on our work or our business, it's like giving it that 100% attention just makes us that much more successful.
Exactly. And as working moms, we all find ourselves having the mom guilt where we're working and we feel that we need to be spending more time with the kids. And so I find that time blocking really allows me to give them time where it's 100% for them. I'm turning off my phone for an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is, and we're going to spend this quality time. I did give them some time and attention and presence today.
It's so hard too with everything that we've taken on. And I joke that the twins took my multitasking skills to an entirely new level. I think this year
yeah,
has done that again.
Absolutely.
We are all shifting and pivoting at such a rapid speed today. I love how we can learn from others about how to overcome obstacles. Can you share with us a business challenge that you came up against recently and how you were able to overcome it?
The one that is top of mind right now is the way my business has changed through COVID. Real estate is such a high contact business where I need to be face to face with people. And I lost that. I'm no longer meeting clients and people I know for coffee like I was before. I was seeing 3 different people a day to get coffee or lunch, and making sure that I was doing a lot of face to face. And open houses, I was always working open houses on my listings, and it was a great way for me to meet with new clients. And that's all been taken away. I've really had to reevaluate. And I would say one of the biggest things I've been working on doing, and I'm still working on it actively, is finding more creative ways to interact with my clients, such as social media. I've been trying to have more of a video presence. I find that when I see other people using video and social media, I connect with them, whether I know them or not. And that's been really interesting to see that I'm having the same type of reaction from people who I know and don't know. And they reach out to me and they feel comfortable with me because I am putting myself out there and I'm talking about things that are relevant to them and important to them. And it just creates that trust again that I was speaking of. It creates trust between you and me because I see you and I feel like I know you, I understand you. And now it's creating this relationship that was put on hold while we can't be face to face.
I saw your last video. It was great. And it seemed to get really good traction. And it's hard to do these things. But I think to your point, a lot of businesses wanted to be more present on social and do more videos. And COVID was just kind of the push to get us all to go there.
Absolutely. And I was trying to use a program 2 years ago that was a video program and you email it out. And I maybe did one or two. I just was never able to do it. And so COVID has 100% pushed me to move more in that direction.
It's also perfect as the enemy of the good, too. We want to do it. We want to do it perfect. But the point is to really get the message out there and just to do it.
Yes. Just to do it. Embarrass yourself. Go for it. Just take that leap and put yourself out there and you'll be amazed at how many people really appreciate it and give you props and it makes you feel good. And you're like, oh, I can do this. It's not that bad.
And the more you do it, the easier it gets.
That's true.
Have you been able to meet with clients on Zoom or do kind of virtual tours or anything like that?
In the beginning of COVID, I would say we were doing a lot of virtual tours and a lot of Zoom. We are an essential business. We have many health and safety guidelines in place to allow us to meet with our clients in person. 95% of the time, I'm meeting in person with clients now.
Yeah, I would think you would have to.
It is possible to buy a home virtually, but
kind of scary.
It's a little scary.
I'd want to see it. Absolutely know what I was getting into.
Exactly. I mean, I can't imagine buying a $3 million house and never actually stepping foot into it. Not as much virtual as we were in the beginning. Initially, you can do a virtual tour on a listing, and that's a good way for someone to look at a home and pre-screen it.
Yeah, see if they might want to come take the tour and do a full meeting.
Exactly.
With the recent shift in technology today, as we were talking about, are there any technology platforms or apps that you use for real estate or your personal life that help you to be and stay successful or to stay connected with your clients?
Yes, I use social media a lot. So Facebook and Instagram, I'd say are top for my business. I always am using a CRM, which is a contact relationship manager, and it helps me to keep track of all of my clients and people I've met through business over the years and make sure I'm staying in touch. I've been using Boomtown. I believe it is exclusively for real estate. I've tried probably 10 CRMs and I just always go back to Boomtown. I like the interface on it. And once you get comfortable with something, it's so hard to change over.
Right.
I just started a new one and I was on the call for it this morning. There's a new service that's being launched for consumers next week and it's really exciting. It's called the PLS. And it's similar to the MLS, which is the multiple listing service where we input all of our listings. But this PLS gives consumers as well as real estate agents a little bit more control over listings. This is one that I'm really excited about for my business and my clients because they can now go on to the PLS and search and see if somebody has something coming up that may not be on the market yet. And you're put in touch directly with the listing agent, not somebody who's paying for that listing, if that makes sense.
Right. It's so fun to see all the new technologies that have come out in different industries. So I'm always so curious to know what's new. Since we are all dreaming of travel right now, I know I am. I know some people are traveling. We haven't done it yet. Hopefully we will soon. What is a favorite trip that you've been on? And what was your favorite place you visited and why?
My favorite place in the world is Spain. I love the culture and the food and the people. I find that everyone is just so warm. And I love how the whole culture there just revolves around food. And you get to take a nap during the day. I find it's a slower pace of life, and people really have appreciation for the small things, which I think we lack sometimes where we are.
Absolutely, 100%. A lot of times when we want to get to know someone, we share a meal. It's what you do.
Exactly.
And taking a nap, especially now at the pace we're living today, doesn't sound so bad either.
The thought of slowing down a little bit and really enjoying every second sounds really great.
Magic happens when we focus on the part of ourselves and our business that brings us joy. What is one tip that you can leave with us today about how you find and live your joy?
My tip is realizing how short life really is. I try to wake up every day with a fresh start and a fresh head and be appreciative for all that I do have in my life. I look at the challenges that I'm facing in both my personal life and my business as opportunities for me to grow and better myself. I really am trying to teach my children the same thing. You know, they're struggling so much right now with not being in school in person. If you can stay optimistic in life and just find the blessings in everything, it's going to be a much easier road for you.
Such a great perspective to have. And I keep going back to grit. You know, do you think that having the jobs as early as you did and finding pride kind of in what you were doing at such an early age helped you to take on that mindset?
Yeah, absolutely. My mother forced me to take accountability and really held me responsible for myself at an early age. I didn't have an option. And I learned the value of $1, and I learned the value of having a work ethic.
It makes you feel good to accomplish things and to make progress.
Absolutely.
And I love that you say you're teaching that to your kids too, because it's going to do the same for them.
And, you know, that's all that we can hope for. We take the lessons that we learn in our life and we try to hand them over to our children. So hopefully they don't have to learn the hard way, but just try to wake up every day with a smile and get out there and do it.
Such a great way to be. Thank you for being with us today, Carissa. Can you please tell our listeners how they can find you?
Yes, my website is SB as in boy, lahomes.com, sblahomes.com. And my email is carissa@sblahomes.com. And you can also find me on Instagram at south.bay.homes. I'm much more active on Instagram these days.
If you are new to She Built It, we'd love for you to join us. We offer community memberships, masterminds, innovative virtual events, and meaningful connections to entrepreneurs and corporate leaders. Please also check out our She Built It shop, curated products from women-owned businesses who put their heart and soul into their beautiful and innovative products. We offer She Built It business consulting and the She Built It blog. Thank you to everyone around the world who joined today. Thank you to my editor, Rich Straffolino. Please download and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And until next time, together, let's let nothing stop us from experiencing the life that we crave.